Hello everyone. Welcome to Dr. B.R. Ambedkar Open University. I am Dr. Kalwai Anita, Assistant Professor, Department of Journalism and Mass Communications, Osmania University. In today's class, we are going to discuss about television characteristics. Seeing is believing. To begin with, the objectives of today's lesson is to understand television as a audio-visual medium and also to know how to write for television because it is written to be heard and seen. And then we will also try to understand in this class how television audience are, how to understand them while you are writing the script. So, let's get started. As you all know, television news writing is different from print and radio because radio is only audio medium, which we also call it as hear only medium, while television combines visuals, sounds and movements also. When you write for television, the scripts are supporting the visuals which are on screen. This is very important to keep in mind because television has a strong visual impact, because of which we watch television daily without fail. It has become part of our life because we like to watch those visuals. So, people trust these visuals because we see them, isn't it? And whatever we see with our own eyes, we believe them. That's why television has this trust build concept. Then visuals make a lot of messages more convincing than narration. You may keep talking a lot in a radio or in any other form, but when they see, they believe it and they trust, and that's a core idea to begin with to understand how to write for television. As I already told, television character, the basic and the first character is seeing is believing because we watch them happening on screen. A picture conveys more than 1,000 words. This you must have heard many times, isn't it? And when you have visuals, you don't need to give lot of explanation because everything is explained by the pictures itself there. What we see holds lot of value and is often taken as truth, as we discussed just now. So, narrating is a second hand information influenced by the subjective views, or visuals make the viewers a first hand eyewitness. So, something that they watch and they make their understanding, and narration is something which is secondary, comes in the second place. So, visual impact gives television lot of power and it makes it convincing and appealing, the medium with an edge over other mediums like radio and newspapers. When we talk about the characteristics, as we go deeper, we need to understand more in terms of about the scenes of action into the living room. You bring everything to the living room of our audiences and providing right inside view of event as they happen. They feel like as if they are seeing, present in the scene and watching it. A best example, something like Olympics or a cricket match or any tennis, and even for that matter now any war kind of situation also. We are going there and we are watching. That kind of feeling is created by television. So, television stories take viewers throughout a gamut of emotions. We do cry when our artists play very well because it's a medium of emotions. We laugh along with them. We see somebody doing something and we enjoy it. So, all this excitement, whether you are disappointment, anticipation or suspense, thriller, all these are part of television which are carried with visuals. So, what you have to exercise or excel is practice is mostly about writing for those visuals rather than just writing for words. So, delivering all these highs and lows of an event without physical presence, even as a writer, you are not present there. What you are writing is based on what you are watching there. So, writing is very important. So, now let us understand these characters little more deeper in context. First, we need to talk and understand the characteristic of television as a audio visual medium. As just now I told, the television uses words. Of course, you do have script in television, you do write words, but how do you write those words? It's very important. It primarily content lies on the images more rather than the words. but a combination of both strength radio as well as the video is very, very important. When we talk about radio, it only combines sounds, and when we talk about newspaper, it's all about words, isn't it? But when we talk about television, it is distinct personality of a television lies in the combination of both picture and sound, conveying the message with greater clarity and enhancing the credibility, because you have the truth in your hand. By showing the visual, you are showing the truth to the audience. Now what you have to support is with context. You have to support how this situation is happening, why is it this important for the audience to know or watch, and many more. Now, when we talk about audio visual medium, a perfect blend, this is very, very important. You have a picture support, but if your word is not supporting to the picture, you cannot impress or impact your audiences. So, it has to go in sync with your visuals, because matching the audio with the video results very good output. If you do not do that, it creates lot of confusion. If you mismatch anywhere, audience do not like the presentation and they end up going for some other channel or some other platform, and it becomes a disaster at your end as a producer. So, a well matched audio visual story creates a wholesome impact on the viewers, because viewers will talk about it later with their peers and the people whom they talk. So, all that content that you have given in the word support has to match with the visual, because we remember visuals for a longer period of time rather than shorter like a audio or the script. Now, next is written to be heard and seen. So, what is the medium? It's audio visual, as it said, heard and seen. In television, the message is presented, not merely read, using a word, image or sound in tandem. Unlike a newspaper that can be read any number of times at leisure, television is typically seen and heard only seen. Now, this is one of the major concern in regard with television, because if it is a newspaper, it comes to you in the early morning and it stays with you for the whole day. So, if you are not available to read it in the early hours, you may take out time in the evening and read it. But with television, that's not the case. When the telecast is happening, you should be present in front of the screen and listen to that. It may repeat, but the impact always matters when you watch it at the same time when you are present. So, most of the time it is the major drawback that we can say. A dedicated news channel and a recording options offer repeats, but these are not as simple as revisiting the newspaper. So, it may repeat, but it may not come at the same time whenever you sit. So, we keep missing the news whenever it is coming on the televisions. Television writing must therefore be, when they are listening, it should be writing form. When we talk specially about writing form, it has to be crisp, simple and to the point and easy to comprehend and understand. The message must register within the viewer in a very first viewing. That is called impact viewing. Do not use high funda language, just use the language that is very simple and easily to understand. So, the message is not understood immediately, you lose the viewer. That's the drawback. So, the purpose of communication is not achieved if you do not make your viewer pay attention to your content. So, heard and seen are very, very important elements. Now, let us try to understand how we have television viewers. You are a viewer, I am also a viewer when we are sitting in front of a television. So, like that, there are so many number of viewers who are there in front of television, but when we talk about print or television address a diverse audience. Why we call it as diverse audience is because you have a literate audience, you have a semi-literate audience, or you have highly educated audiences. They may be from the poor background, rich background or middle class background. Whatever may be their background, but all of them do watch television and they do want to get the content from it. So, you have a different type of audiences when you are serving the content to them. So, the target is the average viewer. So, what you have to keep in mind is you are not either targeting highly educated people or very low illiterate population. What you have to do, it is a middle, which is average view principal, not an expert, but one who understands information presented simply and directly. Don't be too high language, neither completely low level language. Make a medium pace where people of all ages and all backgrounds can be easily able to understand. Creating a wide variation in understanding is difficult. The average viewer principle helps reach the largest possible audiences, and that is the popular way also to reach many people. In a very simple and conversating style, you must be able to explain. This diversity is a television biggest challenge. Writing high language is also possible and very low language is possible, but a medium level and trying to reach all audience at one point of time is a challenge. You need to expertise in that. So, when we talk about television viewers, television serves multiple viewers. As we understood, they may be households, some may be women who are not educated, and maybe children. So, vital links of all this is associated with illiterate people and women who may not enter into public domain. They need to be understood the context in a very simple form. Yet, you cannot lose highly educated people also. So, in terms of deciding the content, in terms of serving the content, all this has to be taken. So, progressive educated sections have to be there. So, if you observe also on television, you have programs of all types. So, according to the condition situation, they provide. So, like this, television plays a key role in terms of, first of all, to write for television, you need to understand television. So, it's mainly powerful audio visual medium where pictures and sounds make lot of difference, and messages must be simple, crisp and to the point. In a very first viewing, people must be able to understand. And we also discussed about something called like written to be heard and seen, and we try to analyze what kind of audiences we have for television, something like diverse, and there is some concept like average viewing that we discussed as a principle which helps to reach a widest population of audiences. So, with this we will conclude and we will discuss about writing styles in the next class.